Alright, so let us begin. So last lecture we have seen the overall picture, how the steering gear works. Ajay, can we start? How about you? Can we start? Thank you. So we have seen that the steering gear system has three main components. One is control unit, one is power unit, and transmission unit. Control unit is located on bridge, has got three modes of operation: non-follow-up, follow-up. Under follow-up system we have hand and auto. Under non-follow-up we have NFU system. The signal from the control system passes through two units, system 1, system 2, both 100% redundancy, that means each one is capable of handling the entire operation. One of them is in use. Signal from here passes on to what is known as telemeter receiver. Transmission of signal and receiving of the signal together is called telemotor system. From receiver, the signal is passed on through hunting gear arrangement to the pump, through pump stroke lever, which is responsible for changing the pitch of the pump. From here, the pump comes into action, and based on what moment you are given, port or starboard, accordingly the pump will be discharging into one line. The second line becomes a return line. अच्छा आपने ड्रॉ कर रखा है सर, वेरी गुड.
बता दिया, ये तो मूल सेंसर ही किसी और के.
कोई बात नहीं, आपके अपने होगी, ये भी ठीक है, बढ़िया. So based on that actuator action, the rudder will move to the correct direction, and once the correct angle has been achieved, the hunting gear, also acting same time, will bring the pump to zero pitch position. Pump is still running but not delaying, and rudder stops at the required angle. This is also fed back to the control system through the feedback transmitter, where we already have the set point, which is operator is responsible for setting that, and measured value signal. The difference in the two is the deviation on which the control system works. So this was the overall picture. Now the diagram which is given in here also, and is a good diagram and good for your examination. So please prepare that for examination purpose.
एक सर पूछ रहे थे, ये feedback system is a part of the hunting gear system?
No.
These are two
independent. Feedback system is independent of hunting gear. Now, कोई बात नहीं, अभी हम when we see this diagram, this is given in Jekeda, so you can just follow. Now this diagram explains, and this diagram can be used for answering almost not every question, but most of the questions which are there, whether sketch and describe a steering gear system, whether showing emergency steering arrangement, or showing whatever different conditions under which the steering can be operated. So this is very common kind of diagram. With small modifications we can use it to answer any question, correct? Except unless it is specified that sketch and describe rotary vane. So we will prepare this diagram and one rotary vane diagram also. So mostly you see the past papers, part A and part B on this particular topic. One will be describing the system, anyone, and second will be some additional question which we will see as we go along with the topic. So B part normally is some kind of explanation on the steering itself. So we will look at that also. But let us first see this diagram. Now here, and your feedback will also be cleared once we go through various systems. So this part is the telemotor receiver, this part. The signal from bridge comes here, as we have seen yesterday, And nowadays, as I said, it is only an electrical signal. So the old hydraulic system is no more used. Now this telemotor receiver has to act on the signal from bridge. This is a piston and cylinder arrangement. And we have two pumps.
Piston, cylinder.
Yes. I will show you a separate diagram of this also, don't worry. But right now for understanding, you don't have to draw that. That is only for understanding how the receiver is working. But from exam point of view, is not asking how the receiver is working. Only thing from the diagram you should be able to understand, okay, this is how it is working. That I will show you separately also. So there are two small pumps mounted on a small tank. And these are called amplifier pumps or autopilot pumps. Right? The name will depend upon the maker, whether the ship is built in Japan or some other. So they give two different names. Sometimes they say amplifier pumps, sometimes they say autopilot pumps. So there are two small pumps. One is working all the time, one is standby. And this pump is drawing from that tank and is responsible for moving this cylinder. Now in any cylinder or piston arrangement, suppose there is a piston and I apply pressure, hydraulic pressure, the piston will move. But if piston is fixed and I apply pressure, cylinder has to move if it is allowed to move. Right? So in this case, we have two pistons which are fixed. And both are inside a cylinder which will actually move forward or southward or left or right. That is what is shown here. So these are two pistons which are fixed. These lines show that these are the fixed pistons and they are inside this cylinder. And in between we have a partition. So in this case, if the oil pressure acts from here, in this side, the oil pressure will build up in this place, it will move the cylinder towards left. If the oil pressure acts this side, it will move the cylinder towards right. How it is moving, I will show you after explaining this diagram.
So this is also called two ram.
No, this has nothing to do with two ram. This is simply the telemotor receiver. It is not responsible. These are small pistons.
Okay, this is telemotor.
This is only telemotor. Pistons are, rams are this one. The main rams are this one.
Okay.
And this ram, these are two ram system, which is shown here. And as I said, if you have to convert it to 4 ram, I simply have to copy this paste here, copy paste here. So you will have 4 rams, and I can just extend the same till this side and connect to the 2 rams. It will become a 4 ram system. So normally they don't ask specifically 2 ram or 4 ram, but in case it happens, we can always show it 4 ram. So the telemotor receiver will operate, and externally on the cylinder we have this linkage. As you can see, we have this linkage. Now this linkage will move because if the cylinder moves towards right, the linkage will move towards right. If the cylinder moves towards left, linkage will move towards left. Any point you don't understand, please let me know. Now this linkage is a telescopic link. Telescopic link is I have a small, like you have the shock absorbers on your vehicle, motorcycle, so you have one rod going inside and another one inside the second one. So in this case also, this is the linkage which is going inside the outer bigger diameter hollow cylinder. If I put a pin through this, then it becomes one linkage. Suppose I remove the pin, then this can move, but no action will be there here. So that arrangement is used here. And if the pin is inside, then from here cylinder to this point, it becomes one linkage.
उसको connect कर दिया सर. Pin.
Yes, ये है हमारी outer cylinder है rod ये इसके अंदर जा रही है. If this moves and if I have a pin here, the whole thing will move. If I remove the pin, this fellow will not move, only this will move, so it will have no effect. Same type of arrangement is on the other side of this point, this side. So actually there is only one pin. If this pin is here, I am using it from bridge control. If the pin is this side, then this side becomes ineffective because inner rod will keep moving and will have no effect. And this side, once I put it, I have a V arrangement, and through this I can move this manually. This becomes my emergency steering.
Steering flat.
This is all located in steering flat. Now everything here is in
जो आप उधर वाला बात कर रहे हो, steering control emergency
emergency steering.
steering flat से
Steering flats. Yes. So if you have to explain that in case of telemotor failure, how you will steer, that means he wants to know that telemotor failure means I can't move the cylinder. Therefore, I will go to steering gear and remove this pin from here, connect it here, and I have a hand wheel. Now this is the handle. When I turn it, it has got coarse threads. ये threads जो दिखा रखे हैं, that coarse thread का मतलब होता है for same angle, linear movement is more, pitch is more. So for small angle, this will move forward by a larger margin based on the pitch. So that means this point I can move either from bridge or from locally using this wheel and using this linkage if the pin is here.
manually
Manual is only one pin. There are no two pins. एक ही pin है. Normal course में this is free because this pin is actually here. So this side will keep moving inside that outer link. Nothing will happen. So that is not in use under normal conditions.
उसी पिन को निकाल के उधर कनेक्ट
उसी पिन को अगर हमें इमरजेंसी में करना है तो ये पिन निकाल के यहाँ करना है, फिर ये बेकार हो गया, क्योंकि वैसे ही नहीं चल रहा. If there is a failure,
आजकल तो स्विच रहता है ना सर, लोकल कंट्रोल और वो.
pardon,
There is just a switch for the local control and bridge control.
don't get confused. Either you tell me exact system, because there are so many systems. So it is better to understand with one system, right? And then if you have another system, we can see how the requirement of SOLAS is being followed here. And basically what we are doing, the steering gear is complying with certain SOLAS requirement. As long as SOLAS requirement steering gear system who is designed is meeting, we are fine. We have no objection. So in your specific case, आजकल जैसे तुम कह रहे हो, आजकल torque motor है. Nowadays we have a torque motor system. So then when we discuss torque motor, we will see how the same function emergency steering is achieved there. But let us not mix कि इसमें भी वो है, ऐसा नहीं. Don't start thinking that way. Okay. I will show you that also what you are saying. Emergency steering ka we'll see later. But let us see, this pin is not here. We have the pin here. So now this is connecting to this linkage which is shown here as L1. It is hinged here, fulcrumed here. Now difference between hinge and fulcrum is that if this moves, this linkage is free to move, but since it is fulcrum, if this is the top part of this L1 linkage and my receiver moves it this way, it is fulcrum here, this will move to the opposite side. If I move it this way, this will move in the opposite direction. So this is the point, this is the meaning of fulcrum here. So L1. So this is
reference दे रहा है कि इधर move करूँ,
opposite direction
opposite में move करेगा. अभी ऐसे ही देख लो ना. Suppose this is L1. It is a solid bar. It is a bar. It is a linkage. So if this fellow moves, telemotor receiver moves, this linkage moves towards left, it will move like this. From neutral, if it moves this way, it will move this way. Correct? Okay or not okay? Okay, na? All right.
It is single rod, ना?
Single rod, but fulcrum here. So point of fulcrum से अब ये linkage को इधर करोगे तो नीचे वाला इधर जाएगा. और कितना जाएगा? It will depend on how much this point has moved. So this is my control point. And this movement is proportional to angle what you have given from the bridge. 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 25 degrees, 30, 30. So this maximum, let us say this is 35. This is maximum it can go. So this is how this L1 will move. All right. Then we have linkage L2, which is hinged here and coming up to here. This is also a bar, flat bar.
Connection है बीच में.
It is hinged here, hinge point. Hinge point is if I have another linkage and I put a pin in front. ये मान लो है ना linkage. तो ये जाएगा तो ये इसको भी move कराएगा. ठीक है ना? Hinge point. इसके बीच में pin डाल दो तो ये hinge हो गया. This linkage can move freely like this.
वो hinge के opposite side में जाएगा नीचे.
Okay, now we will come to that. Which linkage goes where? That we will see. First, let us see what all is there in the system. बाद में हम देखेंगे कि इधर move किया तो उसका क्या result है. So L2, this is the L2 linkage, hinged here and coming up to here. From here we have another linkage which is connected to the rudder stock. Rudder stock se connected hai. And this linkage is a spring linkage. Spring linkage means in between we have a spring which is very strong spring. This spring is provided to take care of the sudden forces and shock absorber. Just like a motorbike में होता है shock absorber. Same way here. Just so that otherwise अगर ज़्यादा force है bend हो सकते हैं linkage, then my signal will be there will be error. Now, so we have a combination of L1, L2, L3. The combination of L1, L2, L3 is called hunting gear. This is hunting gear. Together, L1, L2, L3 is the hunting gear. Out of this, linkage L2, ये जो है इसको कहते हैं floating lever. The linkage L2 is called floating lever. Why we call it floating? Because position of this L2 will depend upon position of this point. If this is A, it is not written here, but I can write it A here. Position of A, position of F. Suppose there is no change from here, but there is a change from here, then also it will be, this linkage will acquire a position based on either this moves or both move. So that is why L2 is called floating lever. So L1, L2, L3 together is the hunting gear. How hunting gear will work, we will see later. Then on linkage L2 we have connected another linkage, red color. This is called the pump stroke lever. Pump stroke lever is going inside the pump and it is changing the swash plate. Swash plate is like this, of course not rectangular but round in shape. And this linkage is connected to this. This swash plate is fulcrum here. अगर ये लिंकेज अंदर को जाएगा पंप स्ट्रोक लीवर तो ये इसको ऐसे मूव करा देगा, इधर को जाएगा तो इधर को मूव करा देगा. ये है जीरो पोजीशन. And then we have the plungers which are resting here and rotating. The pump is running. Now if it is rotating, there is no linear movement of this plunger, so no oil is discharged or such. But if it moves like this, then from neutral position it has to move this much backward. Therefore, that much oil is sucked in. Same plunger when it comes here, it has moved towards right from the center position. That much oil has been pumped out. So this becomes delivery. This becomes suction. If I turn it this way, then this will become suction. This will become delivery. This is the principle of working of this pump. Although I will show you some more diagram of this, but right now this much is okay. So that means what pump stroke lever is doing, it is changing the position of the swash plate as we call it, or even if we don't remember swash plate, we can simply say it is changing the pitch of the pump. Correct? And this swash plate is designed for a maximum angle, which I told you normally 15.5 degrees. When it is 15.5 degrees, that means pump is delivering maximum amount of oil as per its capacity. When it is zero, delivering zero, no oil. So between 0 to 15.5 is from minimum to maximum amount of oil which pump will deliver. That is why it is called variable delivery pump. Okay. Then next. From here we have two lines. One this one and one this one, as we said. And these two lines, one line is coming to this side of the ram. This line is coming to this side of the ram. Based on the direction in which the swash plate tilts, one line will be high pressure, other will be low pressure. If this is the line high pressure, oil under 200 bar approximately will be coming and it will work here at this point. And because of that, it will start moving the ram towards right. Whatever is the movement here, same amount of movement of the oil will be from other side. This oil will come back to pump. So as long as the ram is in movement, there is a flow, same quantity going into the ram, same quantity returning. And rudder, because the tiller is moving now, these rams will move in tiller. And at the bottom of this we have the rudder, which will also start turning to port. As per this diagram, if it was opposite, it would have turned to start. Okay. So far the main components are clear. Everybody Anybody has any question? Can ask. Health okay?
L3 में कुछ वो रजिस्टर टाइप कुछ लगा हुआ है, वो क्या है? स्प्रिंग।
ये स्प्रिंग है।
सर ये जो
वो बेसिकली जब आप इसको मूव कर रहे हो ना, ये ऐसे मूव होगा।
Yes, absolutely. This is one. Every ship must have at least two. उसका भी थोड़ा और है, 16 की रेगुलेशन. You will see 2 or 3.
मींस वही मोटर जो
है वही
ऑन
मोटर.
ऑफ करते हैं।
Yes, yes. This is this motor. There are 2 motors and autopilot. They are here. They are small ones. उनका कुछ हमें लेना देना नहीं है अभी.
लेकिन हम लोग जो करते हैं वो
आप जो करते हैं वो इसको है.
ये जो इलेक्ट्रिकल मोटर है।
Yes.
आपने तो यहाँ से एंकर दे दिया, ये तो टूट जाएगा ना।
इलेक्ट्रिक मोटर से पंप चलेगा. जैसे आपने स्विच ऑन किया, पंप स्टार्ट हुआ. तो ये चलता है. स्वाइच स्पीड इज इट डज नॉट डिस्चार्ज एनीथिंग. अगर मिड शिप पे है.
सर इसमें तो अगर इससे टूट है आपने अगर डबल मोटर है
तो भी चाहिए.
वो दो चाहिए तो इसमें फिर जो ऑयल है तो वो मतलब दोनों मोटर ऑन कर
कनेक्शन है.
दोनों पंप
वो
वो
तो
फ्लो आएगा तो ज्यादा नहीं आएगा।
हाँ ज़्यादा है. That is why we use 2 in the maneuvering time. So what we have is SOLAS requirement. SOLAS बोलता है कि the steering gear should always have, there should be main steering gear and auxiliary steering. That is a SOLAS requirement. Every vessel must have main steering and auxiliary steering. Main steering gear must be capable of turning rudder from 35 on one side to 30 on the other side in 28 seconds. 28 is the maximum. Under the conditions when vessel is fully loaded in the pardon?
वन मोटर
Okay. They are not saying 1 motor or 2 motor. Correct? That we will see other regulations whether we still require 2nd motor or we require 3 motors. I have sailed on a ship where two motors had to come because container ships are bigger. You require more torque. So we had 3 steering gear motors. And to comply with the SOLAS requirement, 2 are required to run. 2 motors have to run to comply with 28 second requirement. Correct. So that number of motors we will discuss separately. How many required? क्योंकि बाद में same headache भी है. After this we will come to the same headache steering और वहाँ की क्या requirement. So as per requirement, but some main requirement of SOLAS says main steering gear. Whichever is your main steering gear.
चाहे वो एक मोटर चाहे दो मोटर.
चाहे एक हो चाहे दो. Main steering gear must be capable of turning the rudder 35 to 30 in less than 28 seconds when the vessel is proceeding at designed service speed with fully loaded position. Correct? That उसके साथ ये भी है. सिर्फ ये नहीं कि under those loaded conditions. So now let us see the working of this. Correct? How this system will work. Let us first assume. हाँ जी, क्या कोई डाउट है? अभी मत सोचो यार, मैं इसीलिए बोलता हूँ जितना हम जो चीज़ डिस्कस कर रहे हैं ना उसी में फोकस रखो. मैं दिखाऊंगा आपको स्वाश प्लेट. आई विल शो यू स्वाश प्लेट. आई विल गिव यू द रेगुलेशंस ऑल्सो. और वो सब आएगा धीरे धीरे. लेकिन सडनली जंपिंग टू समथिंग एल्स वी लूज फोकस ऑन दिस. एक को हम समझ लें ताकि जब कहीं भी रेफरेंस आएगा तो इमीडिएटली नो कि हाँ ये ऐसा हो रहा है. स्वाश प्लेट अभी भूल जाओ. इतना याद रखो पिच चेंज होती है पंप की, पंप स्ट्रोक की ओर से. ओके. अगर बाद में फिर भी नहीं आया then you tell me. I will further explain to you. So now let us understand this diagram. How this hunting gear will make sure that the rudder comes to the desired value. And that is what you have to write in your exam also. When you just draw this diagram, इसको अच्छे से practice कर लेना और चेप देना 1 पैराग्राफ 2 पैराग्राफ एक्सप्लेनिंग है. हाँ सही है. आपको रिटर्न में क्या है, आपको यही तो करना है ना. डायग्राम अच्छी होगी तो एग्जामिनर पहले खुश हो जाता है यार इसको तो आता है. बाद में उसने क्या लिखा है वो आपको अब जब समझ जाओगे तो आप अपने वर्ड्स में लिख दो. जरूरी थोड़ा कि आप मगज कर नहीं करना. एज लॉन्ग एज यू अंडरस्टैंड कि ये कैसे कर रहा है काम, आप उसको अपने वर्ड्स में लिख देना. जिस दिन आप एक मोर देन आपको अच्छे नंबर से पास होने के लिए. ठीक है. लेकिन अगर कोई डाउट है क्लियरली हो वो हम कर लेंगे क्लियर. ओके. सो लेट अस कम बैक टू दिस सिस्टम. Let us say the system is in equilibrium. Equilibrium we say that rudder is in midship. Your set point from bridge. Set point means what is the desired angle in midship. You want the rudder to be in midship. So rudder is also in midship here. Rams are in the center. क्योंकि सब midship है. है जी? आज तो मीडिया भी आया है. आ जाएगा ये ABP न्यूज़ में. So ये पिन लगेगी नहीं है. This pin is not there in place. We have this pin in place so that it is connected to the telemotor receiver. Now from here the action begins.